Hey folks, happy Wednesday. We continue our FUMCCV daily devotional. Today we're in the Gospel of Matthew, Matthew chapter 25. I invite you to turn into Matthew chapter 25, verse 14. And I'll tell you, Matthew 25 is a wonderful chapter of the Bible. The parable of the 10 bridesmaids, the parable of the talents, which we're about to read, the judgment of the nations, so sheep and goats, and as you did unto the least of these, so you do it unto me. It's just, there's a lot of great stuff packed into Matthew 25, including the parable of the talents. So let's hear that now. Matthew 25, verse 14. For it is as if a man going on a journey summoned his slaves and entrusted his property to them. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Then he went away. The one who had received the 5 talents went off at once and traded with them and made 5 more talents. In the same way, the one who had 2 talents made 2 more talents. But the one who had received the 1 talent went off and dug a hole in the ground and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those slaves came and settled accounts with them. Then the one who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 more talents, saying, Master, you handed over to me 5 talents. See, I have made 5 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, good and trustworthy slave. You have been trustworthy in a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master. And the one with the 2 talents also came forward, saying, Master, you handed over to me 2 talents. See, I have made 2 more talents. His master said to him, Well done, good and trustworthy slave. You have been trustworthy in a few things. I'll put you in charge of many things. Enter into the joy of your master. Then the one who had received the 1 talent also came forward, saying, Master, I knew that you were a harsh man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you did not scatter seed. So I was afraid, and I went and I hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But his master replied, You wicked and lazy slave, you knew, did you, that I reap where I did not sow and gather where I did not scatter? Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and on my return I would have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to the one with the 10 talents. For all those who have, more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But from those who have nothing, even what they have will be taken away. As for this worthless slave, throw him into the outer darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Wow, that's quite a harsh ending. Now, let me be clear. We are not biblical literalists. So we can read this passage and we don't have to say, okay, that this event actually happened, and that someone who had saved money and given the master back the same amount that the master gave him was thrown into the outer banks of hell. We understand that the story is told so that it might instruct us in our spiritual lives. And so we have to kind of spiritualize the story. So we think of these talents as each of us getting different gifts and graces from God. And God gives us these gifts and graces so that we might multiply them in the world. And when we do that, we find a life of joy, and God finds joy in us. But if we sort of receive our blessings and we just hide them and don't share them with anybody, then it does not bring about the redemption and abundance that God is seeking. Therefore, sort of hiding those blessings, hunkering down and hiding those blessings becomes an act of disobedience to God. So it's not about the money of the passage. It's about what you do with what God has given you in life. And how are you a witness to a kind of life that expands upon what God has given to you rather than hides and protects what God has given to you? It's a helpful thought in our world, because our world really wants to consume and to have and to protect everything. And God is really saying just the opposite. God bless. Have a great day.